Welcome back to Virtual Reality Game Dev Ed. This is the 15th tutorial for Sky on using MakeHuman in Blender. Okay, now we left off starting to play with our children. Here, we clumped them up just a little bit. We want to change the shape a little bit here. Now if we pull this down too much, we're going to take away too much of this. We want to give it just a little bit of shape. Okay, you pull it down, it's will give you kind of a wet look. You pull it out, it'll give you like the fluffy look. So I want mine to look like a little bit like it's have a little bit of dampness in my hair. Okay, so I want a little less. I'm going to go ahead and leave the length full. I don't want to part it. Now, this one gives you a hedge look if you change it up too much. So be really, really light with uniform. You only want just a tiny bit of ununiform here. I'm just going to type it in. I want 0.1. Okay. See how it's starting to kind of look like real hair? Still an afro thingy going on, but we're going to change that soon. Okay. Size we want to leave 1. We don't want to change our endpoint. We do want to make it just a little bit more random. Now this really adds that if you go way too far, you'll have some crazy stuff going on. So we just want to make it just a little random. Okay. For me, I'm going to do like 0.14. See how that looks. Yeah. Now we're really starting to look like hair. Alright. I believe you can change this size to, not 0.1, just 1. Leave that alone. Threshold here also changes it back kind of to the uniform thing, so you want to leave that one alone too. Alright, now the kink, I actually want a curl. In mine, I have curly hair. So now that I did that, let me go ahead and pull down my random just a little. Let me actually pull it up. No, 1.4 was fine. I want to pull my uniform back down. Right? Now I want to have this a little less clumped on my curls. So I'm actually going to pull this down to say 0.5. You can give it some different shapes here. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine as 0. Frequency, this will change how many curls you actually have. You can set this down to some negative if you'd like, but I want to go ahead and leave mine where it was. For curl, that's 2. Change the flatness in it. I want to leave that on 0 for mine. You can change the amplitude. This will change how curly it is specifically. I actually do want to pull mine down just a tiny bit. We started off at 0.2. I'm going to pull mine down to 0.1. Alright. Now we're going to put on some field weights and do all that stuff. But for now, let's go ahead and render that and see how we look. You can keep playing with these settings and make it as close to you as the hair you want. In a particle here, you can keep changing these settings. There's about 1,000,000 different options here, 1,000,000 different variables. You can change your hair to look however you like. That looks pretty close to what I'm going for my crazy hairdo. However, I think my color's still a little off. I do want my hair to be a little bit darker than that and actually have just a little bit more detail. A little bit more difference between our light and darks. So the first thing I'm going to do is come back under this materials tab. That way I can get back to the texture for my hair, and I'm going to actually add a couple more. I'm going to add 2 more. I'm going to pull one up to the middle of here. Center this one out a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to darken this one a little bit, and I'm going to darken out this second one that I added quite a bit. Still think maybe my original ones might be a little bit too light. Maybe like this. Darken that out a little bit. Darken this one up just a tad. Now go ahead and render that. And let's see how I look. Now as you notice, there's one reason why we can't put particle hair in video games. This takes quite a bit of time to render. All right. Yeah, this is way too much for a video game to handle. We really don't play with particle hair in video games. We use material hair. I'll make that later. But for now, we're working with our particle here, for the sake of art. So, that looks pretty good. That looks decent for my color. About the right kind of craziness I want. Unevenness. Alright. So, now the next thing we need to do is start creating a hairstyle. So to do that, we're actually going to move our hair around a bit. Okay? First thing we need to do here, go ahead and make sure your particle system is selected. We're going to come up here to particle mode. Okay? Now, that turned off our children. You can turn your children back on somewhere here if you want to see your children. Right here. But I don't want to see my children while I'm working here. I want to just I want to change the actual parents themselves specifically. Then that they will automatically move the children around for me too. So, first thing you're going to notice is these options at the top. We have smooth, comb, add length, cut. Those are pretty specific. You just left click to start combing. It all depends on the angle you're facing. Okay. So I'm going to go to my front view, press 1 here on your number pad. I want to make sure this part of my hair is facing back. Okay. Then you can change the size of your brush here. I want to make it a little bit smaller. And then hit 3 on your number pad. Hold shift and move yourself over. I actually want to take a couple of these hairs back out. Make this just a little bit bigger so it combs these couple hairs down here just a little bit better. Just a couple, not those ones. Okay. I don't want this one back here either. Just want a couple of these hairs. Alright. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Hit Control 3 to get straight to this angle. And I want to make sure the rest of this is combed back pretty well. Up from the bottom and back. Putting these up here because I'm going to make a ponytail, right? Something like that. That looks good enough. Okay. Hit 3 on your number pad. Make sure these ones are all facing the right way too.